Okay, so this subject today is we're talking about the preterite, the past tense of verbs that end with IR and the stem changing that happens in these verbs. Okay, so we'll start with listening to these silly creatures again, and then we'll get into the actual lesson. Remember, only 3 lessons left.
Whoa, what a night!
Hey, Baba, what happened last night? That music, it was...
I guess it's not working again. Yeah, it seems like it's lagging. Because I allow someone to enter the Zoom, so every time that the Zoom is active, then it stops everything else. All right, so preterite past tense of IR stem changing verbs. Let's read what it says here. It says here, most English verbs in the past tense have the same form, no matter who the subject is, right? When you will say, I asked, when you say, you asked, not really any changes in the past tense, in the verb itself. The only thing is the subject, right? The changes, that's it. Now, in Spanish, though, some verbs must be changed and also their stem, meaning to change somewhere in the beginning of the verb as well. So you have to do based on who is doing the action. So he says, remember that many IR verbs have the same changes in the past tense, in the present tense. These verbs agree these verbs change stem in some forms of the preterite tense as well. Same changing verbs of IR in the past tense change en usted, él, ella, and also in ustedes, ellos, and ella. So the past tense, the preterite tense is in this case. So the stem changing only happens in él, ella, and usted, ellos, ellas, and ustedes. For these verbs, specifically this one, okay? So we have the change that happens is the E changes to an I. That's the case for pedir. So obviously you're still going to change the end, right? You're still going to have the regular endings changing, but you're also going to have a stem change. So this E right here changes, but it will not change in the yo, it will not change in tú, it will not change in nosotros or vosotros, but the change will only be in ellos, en él, ella, and usted. Notice here, yo pedí, there's no changes there. Tú pediste, there's no change there. Él pidió, there, the E there changed to an I. Él pidió, he asked. Ella pidió, she asked. Now you go back to nosotros. Pedimos, there's no change, the E is still there, the same. Vosotros pedisteis, there is no change there either. Ellos pidieron. Ellas pidieron. Ustedes pidieron. There's the change. The E changed to an I. So these verbs are the ones that you just have to remember that they have a stem change, and that's why they are irregulars, and they are IR verbs. Now, there are other verbs like dormir. The O changes to a U. But again, there's not going to be any changes in yo. There's not going to be changes in tú, nosotros, usted, or vosotros. The only changes that's going to happen, the same change is going to happen in él, ella, and usted. The O is going to change to a U. Because look, yo dormí, I slept. There's no change. The O is still there from the original form of the verb. Tú dormiste, you slept. There's no change there, right? It's just the ending. Él durmió. There we go. There's a change right here. Ella durmió. He slept, she slept. Usted durmió. Dormimos. There is no change. The O is still there. Dormisteis. Vosotros dormisteis. There is no change. And here we go again. Durmieron. Ellos durmieron. They slept. Ellas durmieron. They slept. Ustedes durmieron. You all slept. The you all changed to a you. So in recap, the changes only happens in usted, él, and ella, ellos, ellos, and ustedes. That's it. The E changes to an I in this verb, and the O changes to a you. Okay? So here's some sentences that says, ¿Qué pidieron en el mercado? What did you ask in the market? ¿Qué pidieron? What did they ask, right? Look, the change happens in the I, the E changed to an I. Zulma is a girl, she. Therefore, there's a change in el, ella, and usted. Zulma durmió 10 horas anoche. Zulma slept 10 hours last night. By the way, I slept 10 hours last night. First time in a long time. Felt good. Yo dormí. Now, here are some verbs that also have a change. In the change, the E changes to an IE, as you can see right here. They're similar to the verb pedir. Pedir is to ask. So the E is going to change to an I, but only in él, ella, usted, ellos, ellas, and ustedes. Preferir. Which E is the one that changes? The first. Okay? No, I'm sorry, the second one. The second one. The second E. Prefirió. Servir. The E here, en él, ella, and usted, changes to an I. Sirvió o sirvieron. Vestirse. Vistió o vistieron. The E. Competir. The E right here. Compitió. Seguir. The E changes to siguió o siguieron. Compitió o compitieron. Only en él, ella, and usted. And ellos, ellas, and ustedes. Okay? So, today's activities are going to be here to read this paragraph and to put the correct form of the verb. Remember, if it's él, ella, on usted, ellos, ellas, ustedes, then you're going to have to do the stem change. Okay? So let's do this one, the first one. We have competir, which is to compete. Pedir is to ask. Servir is to serve. Dormir is to sleep. Preferir is to prefer. And vestirse is to get dressed. All of them have a stem change in the E or the O, but only in él, ella, usted, ellos, ellas, and ustedes. Okay? You still have to conjugate it in the past tense, but you just have to determine which one gets that same change. So here we go. I'm going to translate and I'm going to call on you guys, okay? Ayer fuimos al mercado. Yesterday we went to the market. Mi hermano se en el coche, pero lo despertamos cuando llegamos. My brother in the car, but we woke him up when we arrived. So which verb will you pick? Dormir, correct. Yes, dormir, because it's he, right? He did it, right? Mi hermano slept, right? So is there a change? Is there a step change? It's él. Yeah?
Think it go to I or you.
A you. So will be se, dur,
Can I spell it?
no, say it, say it. I want you to say it.
The rainbow, something like that. No, I don't know. The rainbow.
Durmió. Se durmió. Correct. 10 points to you. Se durmió. Mi hermana, Jordan, next one. Mi hermana compró un chaleco de cuero y le gustó tanto que con el chaleco inmediatamente. My sister bought a leather vest and she loved it so much that with the vest immediately.
Would it be pedir to ask?
What?
Well, what if you put, well, what's the verb pedir to ask?
It's a vest and she liked it so much that she,
So she got dressed with, so the that's Thursday,
uh-huh,
and the E will change to a U. So the verb visto, no,
vistió.
verb steal.
Correct. Se vistió. 10 points to you. Se vistió con el chaleco inmediatamente. Very good. Todos los vendedores, anyone now, todos los vendedores, por nuestra atención, all of the sales people, for our attention. So we're talking about them. They, it's a group of people, right? So because it's they, ellos, is there gonna be a stem change in this verb? Yeah, there will be, right? So now we have to select the verb from here. Todos los vendedores por nuestra atención. All of the salesmen for our attention. Competir, dormir, pedir, preferir, vestirse o servir. Which one would you pick? Competir, right? So what would you do?
It's an E, so it's an I,
Uh-huh.
and then it's a third person, so we compete.
But because it's a group of people, it's them.
Oh,
Compitieron, correct. 10 points to you, 5 points to you. Compitieron. Very good. So do you guys get it? Do you understand how that goes? If it's él, ella, usted, that ellos, there is going to be a state change. The stem change. Can't even talk this morning. Okay. Now the next activity is from same page 179. It says, hay mucha confusión. So what you gotta do here, tell what the customers ordered and what the waiter served by mistake. So something like this. Yo, I'm the subject, I'm the person that's doing the action, okay? Yo pedí arroz, this is what I asked, arroz. El camarero me sirvió una papa. And the waiter served me a potato. So here, Alex, he asked. So how would you say he asked? Alex, is the verb pedir, correct? But because it's, well, that's you. But Alex did it, he. So is there a change?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it changes to I. It's like D or something like that.
So it's like the deal.
Pidió, 5, 5, and 5. Alex pidió una hamburguesa. But, how do you say but? Pero, and the waiter, what is it? El camarero served him. Who did the action? The waiter. So is he, right?
Yeah.
So it will be, what is the verb? Correct. Servir, so it will be sirvió. Pero el camarero sirvió, le sirvió la sopa. Correct. 5 points. That's how you guys do it, all right? So this is the problem. Now here, Alex y yo. Same change here because it's us, right? There is no same change. The only same change happened in él, ella, usted, or ellos, ellas, ustedes. Here's Alex and I. There's us, right? That's funny, Alex and I. My name is Alex. It sounds weird. Alex and I. Crazy. Alex y yo pedimos pan pero el camarero